Happy New Year!
If you're new here, I'm Gina.
I'm Tim, and this is Heckenback. We just recently hit 1,000 subscribers.
Woo! Thank you all so much. We really appreciate your support. We thought to celebrate the new year that this would be a great time to take a look back at how we started.
All the adventures we've had this past year.
And to share some of our plans for the upcoming year.
We're hoping we may have the opportunity to meet a few of you this year.
If you haven't been with us for very long, let's take a few minutes to explain how we got started with YouTube. In the spring of 2022, Tim was asked to officiate our nephew's wedding. They were getting married in Mount Rainier National Park.
Initially, the plan was just to fly out there. But the more we talked about it,
we began to see it as an opportunity to do something that we'd been talking about for a long time.
Take an extended road trip.
And when the bride expressed her concern about her dress getting damaged or lost on the plane, that kind of sealed the deal for us. It gave us the reason we needed.
We offered our services as Heckenback hauling.
When it absolutely,
positively
has to be there
sometime. So our drive out and back took about 3 weeks.
We traveled over 5,000 miles and visited 11 national parks and monuments.
We camped in our rooftop tent.
In some of the most beautiful places in the world.
Well, at least in the U.S. Stayed a few nights in motels when it was really raining.
And we rented an Airbnb while we were in Mount Rainier.
We had bought a GoPro before we left and recorded with the thought that we'd put some video together for our friends and family. You know, modern day vacation slideshow.
That's it. We also thought that'd be good for us to look back on later in our lives as well.
Memory's starting to go, you know.
Yep. And YouTube just seemed like a natural way to get the videos out there and share them.
We'll put a link to the playlist from that first trip in the description and comments.
When we started, neither one of us had any experience with filming or editing or anything like that.
Or done anything with YouTube except watch.
Yeah.
I'm Tim. I'm addicted to YouTube.
We didn't really think that many people would be interested, and the channel grew slowly.
It was still more than we expected it to.
That's true. So we made a commitment to ourselves, though, that we would post one video a week for a year. So when we started, it's like we're investing this time and effort to make these videos and to learn how to do all of this. We'll do it for a year. So we committed to one video a week for a year, and let's just see what happens.
We thought this would be the push that we needed to get out and travel more.
We wanted to do it, but you know how it is.
There always seems to be something more important, like work.
Yeah. And we weren't really willing to admit it even to ourselves at that point, but we hoped we could actually grow a channel.
We hoped there would be other people out there that, like us, would enjoy these often little,
but sometimes big,
adventures.
That we could share the beauty and joy that we find all around us and the fun that we have together, and maybe inspire some others to find their own joy and adventure.
Sticking to that commitment has been tough at times, though, with work, family, and just life in general.
But we've also had a lot of fun traveling and learning about filming and editing. One of my personal life mottos is always learning.
Wasn't it Einstein who said, once you stop learning, you start dying?
Yeah. So Tim is the idea man. It was his idea to start the channel, and he comes up with a lot of the ideas for where we should go and what kind of things we should film. And I'm the editor.
Yeah, I don't do good with computers. They don't like me.
Yeah. I think our videos have improved this year.
I'll say they have.
But I know we still have a lot to learn, both about filming and editing.
Yeah, we're both still trying to get more comfortable in front of the camera
too.
One of the big things we did in 2022 that carried over into this year is we bought a Campanoss sport trailer.
We love our rooftop tent and tent camping in general, but after the long trip with it, unfolding and folding it every day,
yeah, We knew we wanted something more convenient.
Yeah. We think there are benefits and drawbacks to any kind of
Yep.
camping you do. Whatever you camp in, there's always going to be good things and bad things
Yep.
about it. But we have enjoyed having the camper.
We still have the rooftop tent though, and we still talk about using it sometimes.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. First adventure of 2023 was a January trip to the Ozarks. We had planned 2 weeks, starting with a trip to Kansas City and Infusion Design, home of Campanaugh. We're going to have a Rhino 270 awning installed.
And from there, we made our way down to Arkansas, where we found the most beautiful dispersed camp we'd ever stayed in to this point.
While we were in the area, we met some awesome people from the local Little Rock Rigs and Coffee group.
We had never heard of Rigs and Coffee before this.
We were headed out for a New Year ride and invited us to join them.
We've never done any kind of real off-roading before, but this was a great experience.
Yeah, they said some places where they were going to go that we've heard of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
We watched it on YouTube. We're going to go there.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Newbies.
So, yeah, we're still newbies when it comes to that.
Yep.
But we'd like to thank everybody we met that day for the great experience and the warm welcome.
Yes, definitely. After a couple of days in the Ozarks, we spent a few more exploring the Ouachitas and Hot Spring National Park, which does not have showers.
No. The campground, we didn't realize that we totally missed the fact that Hot Springs National Park campground does not have showers. And it's not really the kind of place where you can like set up your own shower. Like you're so crowded with other people. So that was a learning experience for us. We learned how to take a shower at a truck stop. On that trip.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Then on the way back towards home from Arkansas, we spent a few more days in Land Between the Lakes and then back up to Indiana.
It was an amazing trip. We would love to do more exploring in the Ozarks and the Ouachitas.
So in March, we took a week-long trip to southern Indiana and decided to go back to Land Between the Lakes to do some more exploring. So we started in southern Illinois, took a ferry across the Ohio River, and then on to LBL to learn more about the different types of camping there.
How to read the road numbering system and discovering some of the history of Land Between the Lakes.
Then we headed to the southern part of Hoosier National Forest to see if we could find any dispersed camping there that would be suitable for vehicle camping.
We found a few sites, but there are not many options in this part of Hoosier.
We did find a great free option, though, and toured several of the National Forest campgrounds in the area.
Then in May, we took a week-long trip with our youngest son and his wife to drive the Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail.
So she's a traveling nurse. We've talked about them before. And they were getting ready to start a contract in Washington. So they were leaving the next week and we wouldn't see them for 6 months.
Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail was great. A lot of driving.
Yeah.
Trails, roads, not a whole lot of like off-roady, just dirt roads, gravel roads, paved roads. But the biggest problem at that time of the year was mayflies. Oh,
we had never experienced mayflies before that.
But it was still great to spend the time with them and the dogs and just hanging out and exploring the back roads of Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was a really nice experience to share with them. After we parted ways with them, Tim and I spent 24 hours exploring Door County,
which we've always been curious about. We squeezed in a couple of weekend trips here and there. One to Willow Slough Fish and Wildlife Area.
A great quiet place to
very
camp.
Quiet. And another to Pokagon State Park in Indiana.
A not so quiet place to camp.
Then in July, we went international. We went to Canada.
So this was my first time in Canada, my first time out of the U.S., and we circumnavigated Lake Erie.
Ooh, big words.
I know.
With a few side trips.
We camped at a Canadian provincial park right on Lake Erie to start the trip, and then we spent several days with my sister and brother-in-law exploring the Canada side of Niagara Falls.
And then we crossed back into the U.S. and down into Pennsylvania to do some dispersed camping. We visited Centralia. How do you say that?
Centralia?
Centralia?
That's how I say it.
Centralia. And the Allegheny National Forest.
We visited Cuyahoga National Park and rode the train and wrapped up the trip with a ferry ride across Lake Erie or into Lake Erie. So we could spend 24 hours in Put-in-Bay, Ohio. Rent a golf cart. Then in October, we took a week-long trip down to Kentucky,
where we explored bourbon country.
We rode the rails with Rail Explorers.
We drove the Red River Gorge area, and we accidentally ended up on a trail we should not have been.
With the camper.
Yeah.
So, like, if we had just been in the truck, we would have been okay. But still would have been a little tough. But with the camper, we were definitely
we damaged it a little bit.
Fortunately, we ran into some folks that were attending an event called Overland the Red, who helped us out and invited us back to the campground for the night because we were kind of stressed by the end of the day.
Just a little. We weren't aware of the event before this, but it looked like fun, and everyone was really friendly and supportive. So we're hoping to actually be able to go to the event next year instead of crashing it.
So at the end of October, we attended the Indiana Outdoor YouTubers meetup for the first time. This was our first time meeting other YouTubers. And we met a lot of other Indiana folks there who enjoy the outdoors also.
And we wrapped up the year with another trip to Southern Indiana, this time to Charlestown State Park and Rose Island. It's been a busy year.
It has.
Yep.
So I didn't really realize how much we've done this year until hearing it all kind of condensed like that.
Yeah. Remember, we've got 8,000 miles on the camper.
Yeah.
A little over a year.
Yeah.
So you're probably wondering what our plans are for the coming year, 2024. Do we have anything set up?
So nothing is set in stone yet. We don't have any plans set in stone, but we do have some ideas in the works. Tim is thinking hard. A lot will depend on how the first few months of the year go.
If you watched the Rose Island video we posted last week,
you heard us talking about Tim's ankle. Ow. Well, he is actually scheduled for ankle replacement surgery in January.
So we won't be doing any traveling for a little while. But we do have some videos still in the bag.
Once we knew that he was going to be having surgery, we planned a couple of short trips.
Scrambled around.
Yeah, we scrambled a little bit. And took a couple of short trips to be able to record some videos. And we have some ideas for maybe some gear videos as well.
Yeah, hopefully as I get back to mobility, I can squeeze in a few weekend trips. And maybe within Indiana, maybe slip over to Ohio. Yeah,
our daughter-in-law's next contract is in Ohio. So that gives us an excuse to head over there for a weekend or two.
Yeah. Unless we're tired of them after this month here.
No.
Our first fairly definite plans are to attend the Spring Indiana Outdoor YouTubers meetup in April.
It's held at Blackwell's Horse Camp in Hoosier National Forest. I think it's the first weekend of April. As we get closer to it, we'll mention it in future videos.
Anyone is in the area, we would love to meet you. It's a great time just to hang out, chat, meet some other Indiana people who love the outdoors.
So I'm a teacher. I have a few natural breaks throughout the year. And last year we were able to travel for like a week or two during several of those breaks. This year with Tim being off for a couple of months, that's obviously going to impact our plans and our finances. But we're still hoping he'll be able to take off some time during a couple of my breaks.
But if not, we'll just plan some more weekend trips locally. Indiana, Illinois, Michigan.
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Yeah. So we thought it might be fun to share some of Indiana's beautiful covered bridges.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go down there for that.
Yeah, we haven't done that in quite a while. Yeah. So we have almost 100 covered bridges in Indiana still.
And to share more about dispersed camping in Hoosier.
If we are able to take some longer trips this year, we would love to spend a weekend exploring the UP.
Then in October, we would like to actually attend Overland the Red.
Instead of just crashing for the night.
Yeah. There's some neat stuff going on there.
To our knowledge, the dates haven't been released yet. We haven't seen them on the website, but we're hoping that it coincides with my fall break again.
Also discussed going a little more camping in Canada and trying to attend some other events if they're close enough and fit in their schedules.
If you have any ideas or suggestions for events or trips, we would love to hear them.
One of our personal goals for 2024 is to begin the process of downsizing.
Getting rid of clutter is our first step. We plan to retire in about 3 years. At least that's our goal. And we're considering selling our house.
It's a really tough decision, though.
I'm waffling about it. Yeah. If you are interested in hearing a little about some of our thought process on that, let us know. We definitely don't plan to turn the channel into a retirement planning channel.
We're flying by the seat of our pants here.
Yeah.
But we're happy to share,
whatever we're able to figure out.
What we can figure out.
Like I said, just some of the thought process that we're going through as we're preparing for that. Our goal is eventually to travel pretty much full time. At least for a while.
Yeah.
So we do have both Facebook and Instagram. We've not been great about posting. So another goal that we have for this year is to post a pic or a reel or something on Instagram at least once per week. We will post an update or like upcoming events, places we're going to be, that kind of thing on Facebook once per week.
So if you aren't following us on those, consider checking them out.
So anyway, those are our plans and our goals for the year. We would love to hear your travel plans and adventure goals for 2024.
And again, we sincerely want to thank all of you who have subscribed and watch our videos. When we started, we hoped,
kind of quietly inside,
we'd be able to grow a channel. But it seems so big that we were afraid to actually say it out loud.
We know we still have a lot to learn.
We feel like we are still in the beginning, which we are. I mean, but we also think life is all about the journey.
Making the most of it, stopping to appreciate the beauty and savor the moments. We hope that, again, like we said earlier, that we inspire other people to find their joy and to just appreciate everything around them and each other.
Yes.
Yep. So we wish you a happy new year.
Full of new adventures.
And we'll see you soon.
Happy New Year, everyone. I was trying to remember that quote about the difference between, something an adventure is attitude.
Oh, we'll look it up. The difference between, is it like fear and adventure, or the difference between
adventure and adversity is attitude.
That's a good one.